Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, January 27th, and I am halfway through a book which is Written in Blood, which is book 11 in the Robert Hunter series. So obviously I intend on finishing that book. I would love to finish it tonight, which I think I will because I'm in the mood to draw and I can draw while I listen to the audiobook. You know what I mean? I haven't done that in so long. I haven't drawn, period, in so long. And I used to, when I drew regularly, I used to really like drawing while I was listening to an audiobook. So I'm excited for that, actually. And yeah, those books are always so fast-paced and engaging that I'm sure I will start listening to it and just be absorbed into the story, and I will probably finish it tonight. And then this week I want to read At Dark I Become Loathsome, which comes out tomorrow, and it's one of my anticipated releases, and it's a horror book. And I also want to read the next romance book for my romance video, which is The 7-Year Slip, which I don't think is very long, so that's also great. And yeah, the horror book is also pretty short, really short. So if I continue in the great reading mood that I've been in the last couple weeks, I might read more than these 3 books that I talked about, but I don't really know what I will start. So for now, those are the plans. And yeah, that's it in terms of reading. In terms of other plans, I don't really have any. And in terms of work, I don't think there's anything interesting or out of the ordinary that's gonna happen either. Today I was at the biobank all day, which was, always a great way to start the week. But I think it's all gonna go uphill from here, honestly, because I don't have to be at the biobank the rest of the week. So that's fantastic. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm excited for 2 of the books. I'm excited for the thriller and the horror. The romance, I'm not excited per se, but I'm not dreading it as much as I was dreading the previous one, because it is definitely so much shorter, and it also is kind of magical realism, so that could be more interesting than just a contemporary romance for me. So I'm not excited, but like I said, I'm not dreading it. So yeah, I think that is everything that I had to say in this intro, and welcome to the vlog. Hello. So, it's Thursday. I meant to update you yesterday, but then I procrastinated and it was too late already when I realized what time it was. This happens literally every week. This is not news. But I do have reading updates because I finished Written in Blood. I think that's what the book was called. And I read The 7-Year Slip. And I also already started At Dark I Become Loathsome, but I'm not very far into that one, so I'm not gonna talk about it yet because I don't really have many thoughts or any thoughts other than it's weird, but that's what I expected from it. So that's everything I have to say on that book. And then Written in Blood was book 11. Yeah, I think 11 in the Robert Hunter series, which is a mystery thriller series where we follow Robert Hunter, who is a homicide detective. And this book was like different. The investigation was different, the way that they investigated, because, you know, usually they will find a body or several bodies and they will obviously investigate from that. But this book was different because actually the beginning of the book, we start following a woman, and usually we start following like the first victim. But in this case, and like I thought that's who she was gonna end up being, but she was actually like she stole something from a guy, like a bag. And then when she got home and opened the bag, she found that it had a notebook, and in that notebook there was like description of several people, several victims, and like what they looked like and how they died. And so she then anonymously sent that notebook to the police, and that is how they started investigating, like from the notebook and without actually seeing or having the victims. In the notebook, the killer also talks about like what the voices ask. Like the voices ask for specific victims that look in like a specific way, and they have to be killed in a specific way. So he's just doing what the voices are asking, and like figuring out like who or what the voices were was definitely interesting. And that character that appeared in the beginning that stole the notebook, she ends up being more part of the book than just in the beginning, and she was also like a very cool character to follow. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting investigation. I feel like, I don't know, it had definitely like a different vibe, and this one was not one of my favorites, but being like not one of my favorites is still being 4 stars because I love like all of the books in the series. There were all either like 4 or 4.5 stars, and there was 1 5-star. So the ones that are not my favorite are 4 stars. So I still really enjoyed it, and I still really did like the investigation and the answers that we got. But yeah, it definitely had a very different vibe from the others, I feel like. And I did finish this book on Monday. I think I said that I would probably finish it while I was drawing, and that is exactly what I did. And it was so fun because I had, in fact, not drawn in so long, and it was very, very, very fun. And I mean, maybe the vibe was also different because I was doing something different, but I do think that the vibe was different despite of what I was doing. But yeah, I still, like I said, really enjoyed it, and I'm giving it 4 stars. And then I read The 7-Year Slip, which was a romance book. And in that one, we were following Clementine, and she was moving into her aunt's apartment after her aunt passed away. And when she was a kid, like growing up, her aunt used to tell her that the apartment was magical and that it could like travel 7 years in the past. It's always 7 years. And obviously, Clementine never really believed it. She thought it was just a story. But one day, like in the morning when she wakes up, there she sees a random guy in the apartment. And at first she thinks that, you know, someone broke in, but then she starts believing that the apartment is actually magical and it can travel in the past. And she and that guy fall in love extremely fast, by the way. I did not like the romance. It was way too fast. Like, they fell in love immediately, which I did not enjoy. But she was also like on a self-discovery journey, I guess. And I mean, so was he, I suppose, in a way. But I didn't really care about his story as much. Maybe because we were like just in her head. It was like just her POV. So I was more connected to her. So I didn't really care as much about his story. And I didn't like the romance, like I said, but I did like Clementine's journey. So I did like something in the book. There was like a part of the book that I was invested in. So it wasn't like as bad as the others for me. There was something I enjoyed. So I think I am probably going to give it 3 stars. I'm still not entirely 100% sure, but I think it's going to end up being 3 stars. And yeah, I'm not going to say more about it because for these romance books, I want to keep most of my thoughts for that video. And yeah, today I did start At Dark I Become Loathsome, but I didn't get very much into it. I mean, it's pretty short, so I am actually 28% in, but since it's so short, it's not like a big amount of pages, you know? So yeah, I don't really have any thoughts about that yet. And I did plan on reading more of it today. Like, ideally, I would have finished it today or tonight, but like, I have such a terrible headache that I don't think that I will. I mean, I certainly won't finish it, but I don't think I will read any more of it actually, because I just don't feel great. I want to just, do nothing and like go to bed and maybe sleep. Maybe not. It's still pretty early for me, but maybe just go to bed. I want to lie down. I want to be horizontal. So, I mean, I could read horizontally, but I don't think I'm gonna read anyway. That's the point. But I do want to finish it tomorrow, and then I don't know what I'm gonna read over the weekend. Like, I could start my next romance book because I had to finish it. Like, I have to finish the romance books next week, and the next one is like pretty long. I didn't think it was that long when I saw like the amount of pages, but I have the audiobook, and the audiobook is so long. So I could start that. But actually, like, I'm feeling sci-fi because I don't think I have read sci-fi yet this year, this month. And I've read 12 books. And I don't think any of them was sci-fi. And I'm kind of craving sci-fi. So maybe I'll read a sci-fi book. I'm not sure. I really don't know what I'm feeling. I mean, I'm definitely not feeling romance, but I do have to read that book eventually. So maybe it depends on how much I am willing to suffer, I guess, on Saturday. Depends on my state of mind, I guess. But yeah, I will finish this tomorrow, and then I will read something else. Who knows what? I certainly do not. But yeah, I think that is everything. Like, this week has been very tiring. Like, I'm very tired every day, and like, I am sleeping definitely way more than last week. So I should be less tired, but I'm actually way more tired. Like, I am so tired every single day. And so yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like, I am working more at the lab this week, definitely. Like, today in the afternoon, I was like doing 3 different protocols at the same time, and I was like so worried that I would, mix them up, because 2 of them were pretty similar, and I was just like, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna mess everything up because I was doing like all of them, scrambled at the same time. But I think I did fine. I think I didn't screw up anything. And also yesterday, like, there was a meeting that ended like pretty late. So I mean, that was also tiring. I guess it makes sense. But also, I'm just so tired. And I know that I'm complaining all the time, but it is who I am. I just complain all the time. But I think that's everything that I had to update you on. And I think that I will talk to you maybe on Saturday when I am filming like the things for my Sunday video. Yeah, that sounds about right. I will talk to you, if not on Saturday, then on Sunday. Hello, so it is Saturday, and I don't really have much to update because I just finished At Dark I Become Loathsome, and that was it. And I still don't know what I'm gonna read next. So, I don't even, like, I can't even tell you that because I don't know yet. But in terms of At Dark I Become Loathsome, it was a horror book, and it was pretty short. It was like 150 pages or something, and we were following a guy that, like, he had lost his wife and his son, and he was, obviously struggling with the grief and with feeling like, life was worth living. And he decided to, like, start performing rituals for people who, like him, didn't really want to be alive anymore. And the goal of these rituals was to make people have, like, a different outlook on life and to feel like life was worth living. And we see him performing like some of those rituals, but then, like, he starts changing his mind about things, and he starts changing what he's doing in the rituals, and he starts like kind of losing his mind a little bit. And there is then a guy that he meets for one of these rituals that seems to be more connected to him than we initially thought. And like, I wanted more from this book, because from the synopsis it seemed like it was going to be more about like that other guy that he met like at the end, and like their interactions, their dynamic. And it really wasn't, because that was really more towards the end of the book. And like, it was definitely disturbing from the beginning, and it was definitely kind of gross at parts, but I don't know, like, I wanted more. That's just the feeling that I got when I finished it. I wanted more. And there were like two other kind of stories that we learned that weren't really connected to the main plot. So I didn't really care about either of them, and they definitely took away from the book. Like, a big chunk of this very small book was with those other stories that I didn't really care about. Like, I was just invested in seeing what the main character was doing. And yeah, I wanted more of it. I wanted more. But I still enjoyed the fact that it was incredibly disturbing. So, I'm still not entirely sure what I'm gonna rate it, but I'm thinking 3.5 stars, because like, it was, not sure fun is the word, but I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it as much as I expected to love it, because this was one of my anticipated releases, but I still did enjoy it. And yeah, that is all I've read. And obviously I've come back here yesterday, and I've just filmed my clips for other videos, including the video for Etaka Become Loathsome, which is like reading some of my anticipated releases that I do need to edit and upload tomorrow. So I do need to do that. And yeah, like I was saying, I still don't really know what I'm gonna read next. I still am wanting sci-fi, but like, the next romance book is so long that I don't know if I should start it now. I'm very unsure, but I think I'm probably gonna go with sci-fi because that's what I want to read. So yeah, does that mean I'm gonna have to be reading romance books, or like a romance book, on my birthday next week? Yes, but that's a problem for future me. And yeah, so I don't have much to say, like I told you at the beginning of this clip, because I haven't really done much. I just came back and had dinner and went to sleep and finished the book. And now I'm here today. It's raining, actually, I think. So that's why the lighting is not great. And I do have like my, overhead lamp. And I also have like a lamp that usually is on my desk, like there. It's like shining on my face right now to try to make this decent body. Still not great lighting because it is raining. It's been very cloudy like since I woke up. And yeah, I think it's gonna rain like the rest of the day, and I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. So I don't think I'm gonna be doing much like outside of the house. So my plans are probably just to read and watch YouTube as always, and edit the video that I need to edit. And then eventually tomorrow in the late afternoon or at night to go back to my place. And yeah, that's it. That's everything for now. I will talk to you probably just on Monday to tell you what book I ended up starting and to wrap up this vlog. Okay, so it's Monday. I'm here to wrap up this vlog, and I did end up reading a sci-fi book. I chose one that was like fairly short. It was just like 300-ish pages, like the physical book supposedly, but my ebook was actually like 270 or something like that. So, I was able to read it during the weekend. And the book was called The Space Between Worlds. And basically, in the world of that book, there was like the multiverse was real, and there were, I think, 280 like universes where Earth was like similar enough to Earth Zero, which is like where the characters of the book, or like the main characters, lived. And basically, like, people from Earth Zero, they like figured out a way to travel to other universes, but you can only travel to a universe where like your other you, like the you from that other universe, isn't alive anymore. And if you try to go into a universe where there's already a you will die before you manage to get there. And so we're following our main character called Kara, and she is actually like, there are only 7 or 8 of her in like the 280 universes. So she's like a great person to do like the universe travel, because she's not alive in almost any of the universes. So she works for like this company that does this like multiversal travel, and she basically gets like information from the other universes. And she like, kind of at the beginning of the book, there is another version of her that dies, and so there is a new universe that she now has access to, and she travels to that universe. But when she gets there, she realizes that things are really not as they seem, like in that universe, and also in like on Earth Zero. And there are like things being hidden from her and from like the public, from everyone. And she has to kind of like fix things on that Earth. I think it was Earth 175, and also on Earth Zero. So like she has to fix everything, and she has to like fight a bunch of people. And I really, really, really liked it. Like, I really liked the concept. I really liked the like to see the different Earths, like what was similar and what was different. And we also got to learn more about like other Earths, not just 0 and 175. There were others that we learned about, and the like how different the characters were in the different universes. And I really liked the main character. She was definitely not like a perfect person. She had a lot of issues, a lot of flaws, but she was a very interesting character to follow. And I really, really liked it. Like, I was so invested. I was on the edge of my seat. I was so like into it that like I did read it pretty fast, because yesterday I barely had time to do anything, because I was just rushing to do like the things that I had to do, and I didn't have much time. But I managed to read like the book because I was so invested. Like, I wanted to know how it ended. And yeah, I really, really, really liked it. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, just because, it didn't give me the feeling, but I really liked it. And I thought it was a standalone, like when I added it to my TBR like a year ago or a couple of years ago, whatever. I thought it was a standalone, and I think it was back then, but now there is like a book too. But from what I read from the synopsis in like the 2 seconds that I skimmed over it, I think it's following a different character, which does make sense, because like Kara's story was like wrapped up like pretty well. So it does make sense that it follows another character. But I'm definitely very interested to read that second book, because like I said, I really like the concept and like these different Earths. It was great. I had a great time. And yeah, that's it. That is what I read, and I just came back here and finished the book, and that is all I did, just like every other Sunday, I feel like. And so to wrap up what I read this week, I finished Written in Blood. I read At Dark I Become Loathsome. I read The 7-Year Slip, and I read The Space Between Worlds, and that was 1,053 pages, which I am very happy with. I have been reading like 1,000 pages or more every week for like a while now, and that is, great for me. It's definitely like, it's my goal, but I rarely reached that goal, and now I have kind of been reaching that goal recently. So, until I inevitably get in a reading slump, I'm gonna take advantage of this great reading mood that I'm in. And yeah, that is it. That is everything for this weekly reading vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!